Hi, so it's me, Dawn Ellis. I am going to be talking to you about graphic novels in your library. So the advantages, did you know about these advantages? They really can appeal to visual learners. That helps them really connect to the text. Reluctant readers, especially male readers, really enjoy graphic novels the majority of the time. It could be very helpful for emerging bilingual students or students that are in the ESL program. It could also help with struggling readers or readers that read below their grade level. It attracts young people into your library, and it entices students to start exploring the other types of literature available. Some disadvantages from having graphic novels in your library is that sometimes teachers and parents don't really think they belong in a library. The availability of titles through jobbers, it might be smaller. The content is not always appropriate for younger age students. And assistance is needed in selecting the titles, especially if the librarian is not familiar with the format. So selection criteria. So the standard selection criteria will apply, but here are some special considerations that are just for graphic novels. The genre. Does the story and the genre appeal to a broad range of readers and their interest? Quality and quantity. If you're buying a popular graphic novel title, will you need to have multiple copies of that title, or do you have to buy the whole series? The artistic merit. Will the artistic portrayal of characters, story, and cover art attract your readers? The reputation of not only the title, the author, or the illustrator, but all those things may determine the reception that you receive for that book. Durability. Graphic novels are very expensive, or they can be very expensive. So if they're highly circulated, you may need to purchase hardback or a DuraBound binding, or you need to reinforce the covers. Placement, like in the library itself, do you put the graphic novels all grouped together? Do you want to have graphic novels be intermixed in the fiction or the nonfiction section? That's something to consider. The use of text and illustrations. What is the story about? How do the comic book elements, like the facial expression, the clothing, the background, the lettering, the panel composition, does it help portray the story? And then finally, the layout of the graphic novel itself. Are the panels easy for readers to follow? Does the use of blank space, or the gutters as they're called, in the comic book paneling, does it give or detract from the reader understanding of the story and the illustrations? I myself have sometimes tried to read a graphic novel and realized I was not reading the boxes in the right order. Something to consider. For the implications, treat them similar to comics. So there wasn't really anything in the textbook that talks specifically about the implications for graphic novels. So what I was thinking was that, similar to comics, you need to consider wear and tear and how that might be an issue. Also, you'll want to preview the materials before placing them on your shelves, so that you're kind of prepared to discuss the merit of the item if censorship issues were to arise. Copyright consideration. So graphic novels didn't exist when the copyright laws were written. And so the general rule of thought is that you should consider graphic novels the same as a picture book. And the rule with picture books is that you can copy up to 2 pages of pictures, as long as those 2 pages do not compose or comprise more than 10% of the book itself. And so that's the currently where we are with the law. They might eventually come back and edit the law to include graphic novels as well. All right, and here is my citation. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Please let me know if you have any questions.